Good morning, viewers. You're watching NewsX and I'm Simran. Let's take a look at the big story that we're tracking very closely, and in a big sign of India and the Canada ties that have been on the spotlight in the past few days, but now have come under the signs of healing after hitting an all-time low under former Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. His successor, Mark Carney, has invited Prime Minister Narendra Modi for the G7 summit in the country later this month, indicating that he will attend. Prime Minister Narendra Modi said that he is looking forward to meeting Mr. Carney at the summit, which will be held from 15th to the 17th of June. Taking to X, PM Modi also wrote that he has received a call from the Canadian Prime Minister and that the two countries would work together with the renewed vigor, guided by mutual respect. All right, this has just come, and of course, confirming this development, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has also put out a statement on the platform X. Meanwhile, let's listen into what Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney has said on this.
First is we are in the role, Canada is in the role of the G7 chair, and in those discussions, as agreed with our G7 colleagues, include important discussions on energy security, on digital future, critical minerals, amongst others, and partnerships actually in building infrastructure in the emerging and developing world. There are certain countries that should be at the table for those discussions, and in my capacity as G7 chair, consultation with others, some others, make those determinations. India, the 5th largest economy in the world, effectively the most populous country in the world, central to a number of those supply chains, at the heart of a number of those supply chains, so it makes sense. And in addition, bilaterally, we have now agreed, importantly, to continued law enforcement dialogue. So there's been some progress on that. It recognizes issues of accountability. I extended the invitation to Prime Minister Modi in that context, and he has accepted.
All right, now Mehndi Garg, my colleague, is joining me live on the broadcast with more updates. Mehndi, now this is a big development, and these are definitely the signs of healing. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has also written on X saying that he has received a call from the Canadian Prime Minister and that the two countries are now aiming at working together with the renewed vigor, guided by mutual respect. Given that there was a huge dent on the India-Canada ties, the strained relationship between the two nations over many such issues, how does this invitation at this point of time mark a new era, as now the vibrant democracies about the India and Canada work together and aim to function in bilateral cooperation?
Well, indeed, Simran, in between the India-Canada scuffle, now the latest development is that, PM Modi has received a call from Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney. And yes, it is very important to note that in between, the dent on the diplomatic ties between the two nations, this call marks a very important role in the diplomatic relations between the both countries as well. Because, Simran, during the conversation, Prime Minister Modi congratulated Canadian PM Mark Carney on his recent election victory. And not only this, Prime Minister also thanked him for the invitation to the G7 summit in Kananaskis later this month. And Prime Minister Simran also conveyed that he looked forward to their meeting at the summit. And if we talk about this particular telephonic conversation, Simran, then yes, it holds a very important role because, the two leaders have acknowledged the deep people-to-people ties between India and Canada and also reaffirmed their commitment to work together with renewed vigor, guided by mutual respect and shared interest, as per Prime Minister's statement on the X platform and also the official statement from the MEA. So indeed, it is a very important telephonic conversation, and Prime Minister Modi has also taken cognizance and taken to his X platform. He has mentioned that now, both the countries, India and Canada, will be working together diplomatically in the, upcoming years as well. And if we talk about, Canadian, Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney, then yes, he also, when he was asked the question that he's inviting PM Modi to G7, on that he particularly mentioned that how certain countries should be at the table, and India is the fifth largest economy, most populous country, so it is very important, to invite India as well for the G7 summit. And he also, said that agreement on law enforcement dialogue and recognizes issues of accountability is also very important. Yes, Simran.
Well, all right. In fact,